What's up, guys? Welcome to the Leonard 24 podcast, live from Leonard 23 here in Houghton, New York. If you guys don't know where Houghton is, it's this little hamlet between the Amish and the Hicks. I'm ZT. I'm here with Lyle.
Hi.
Jer.
Hey.
Tits.
Shalom.
And Guntz.
How's it going?
I want to describe the setting for you guys so you can picture it as you're sitting there at home. So directly across from me is a love seat with a gorilla sitting next to a meth head. If 90 degrees clockwise from that, you have a giant teddy bear sitting next to my pal, Hubert the Bear. Seated to my right is a kid with the greatest lacrosse name of all time. And lastly, you have me, the nerd. And this is our podcast.
Public disclaimer. I would like to apologize in advance on behalf of Leonard 23 for anything said in this podcast. We mean no offense on anything we say, for we are just five degenerates that have no clue on what we are talking about. Thank you.
Alright, let's do some introductions. First off, I'm Zachary Bretton Thompson. I'm a senior here at Houghton College, studying accounting and business. I hope to one day be a top-level executive at a major company. If you recognize my voice, it may be from other Thompson Entertainment Network productions, such as Cooking with Zach or Late Night Chat with Zach. Both features exclusively on Instagram Live.
Well, Zach, I don't know how you're going to get a good executive job after this podcast, I'm going to be honest with you.
Bub, we'll have a video in the future.
Yeah, why don't you mind your business, bro?
Yeah, get out of here, Bub.
Come on, bro.
I'm Lyle Warrior. I'm a junior at Zoom University at Houghton College. I'm a physical therapy major, and I have no aspirations for my life.
I'm Jeremy Harris. Just happy I made it to college. That's pretty cool. And someday I'm gonna pretend like I'm mentally stable and help other people become mentally stable.
I'm Titus. I'm a fourth year here at Houghton, and someday I want to learn how to read.
My name's Zach, and you know what? Let me tell you something. I know jujitsu. So, that's all you need to know about me.
So as you can see, we have an interesting bunch here.
Well, you should just say a prayer for us. If this gets going, if you want to keep commenting, just do a prayer or something.
Shout out to Andrew Bub, the greatest named Bub player to ever walk the playing field named Bub.
We love you, Bub.
Well, I have mixed feelings about
Well, yeah,
Just
we
kidding,
all
Bub,
do.
I love you.
Yeah, by the way, what Bub is doing to interact with us is he is, what Bub and Jared Hobson are doing is they're talking in our live chat, which anybody can do at any time. Just say something, we'll talk back to you, and we can comment back if we're in the middle of a conversation and we want to say something and answer you. So
You're a part of this just as much as we are. It's
So
a
you guys-
family here.
Debatable.
You guys want to know, where did this podcast come from? So let's dig into that a little bit. So who came up with the idea of this podcast?
I don't know.
This podcast is a love child of Hennessy and heresy, I think is the best way to describe it.
I would agree with that. Me and Titus thought of this last year that we wanted to have a podcast. I wanted to always have a podcast, but then we didn't really have any ideas. So we had Zach Entertainment. You guys probably know him from any cooking show you ever listen to it from him. And we figured out the hardware, the software we needed. Thanks. I'm going to shout out some people, but I won't shout out and say their names. But anyway, they helped us, and we got the equipment we needed. Figured out the software ourselves. So if anything comes in choppy, by the way, we did this all ourselves, and that's why.
To be fair, we can't get any help right now. We're kind of all stuck here together. So, yeah, we're kind of quarantined together. So, we've got big plans for this podcast, guys. of course, as what Zach said earlier, we want your guys' help to determine what that is. So eventually in the future, we'd like to have guests on our show to interview and get their opinions on things. We'd love to have call-ins from people. We'll eventually dedicate a way that you guys can do the call-ins and you guys can join us. And then make sure, keep on commenting down below. DM us on Instagram with your ideas. What you'd like to see on this show. Who you'd like to see as guests. What you'd like to see on the show. If you guys have a topic for a future show, let us know. We like to talk about all things, and we know about nothing, so it's a very entertaining mix there.
False. Guntz knows jujitsu.
Guntz does know.
That is
Yes,
true.
I've seen it.
Because, at the end of the day, we're 5 guys having a good time trying to entertain our fans. Titus and Jeremy, how about you tell them about one of our planned segments we have?
Go ahead, Jer.
Well, see, me and Titus, my good old pal, buddy friend Titus, we're just really well known in the love business. Titus has a heart of gold, really good at showing his emotions, and I'm the best, basically. So I think if we pull our knowledge together, we can really help people have A+ relationships, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask any of mine or Jer's ex-wives, they'll tell you that we are 2 violently romantic individuals who are willing to help out at all costs to save a relationship. So, we're both certified psychologist degree majors, and we're here to help, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're currently in the process of creating an anonymous Google form where you can submit your questions, your relationship questions to those 2, and we'd love to answer those here on this show and help out other viewers who may have that problem now or later in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, now you know what this show's going to be.
That unknown female is one Rosie O'Donnell, Bub, and despite what your church says, it is love.
Yeah. But why would you have to talk about a throuple like that? And Bob, I'm feeling a lot of hate mail coming from you. So.
Alright, maybe we should get to a talking point.
Let's get into the discussion.
So the podcast now begins.
Alright, alright. So I think for the first topic of this show, we need to solve one of the world's greatest debates. Because who better to solve it than 5 degenerates sitting in a living room?
I like it.
Let's solve the tomato.
Tomato.
Is the tomato a fruit or vegetable?
What? Everyone knows it's a fruit.
That's a fruit.
Dude. It's like the same category as like a grape. Like
First of all, tomatoes don't even exist, so...
Potato.
All right, Jared.
I mean, as much as I like to debate science, science tells us it's a fruit, so, I mean, it has seeds.
But then you got to
Yes.
think about what constitutes a vegetable. We talked about this last year. Do you remember that on the bus ride to one of our games? Because technically there are so many different types of vegetable, like a pepper. Is that a fruit or a vegetable?
I was always going to bring that up. What is a pepper a fruit or vegetable?
It does have seeds.
Because it has seeds. But I think
Nothing spicy should be a fruit. It's
No.
just...
People have seeds. Are we vegetables?
wow, that's deep.
Some people are.
Alright, I mean, was Adam and Eve a cucumber and a pickle?
Oh,
What?
that's how veggie tales.
So are you saying that the woman is dipped in vinegar?
Ooh, because women are sweet and spicy, and men are just straight to the point.
And that is why Titus is giving relationship advice.
But
So you guys don't think there's any debate there? Why has there been a debate about that?
Well, because I think we had investigated this at one point. Vegetation is vegetables. So like wait.
Explain your thinking here.
No. So like technically everything would be a quote unquote vegetable.
Okay, so
vegetation.
like everything is like a square. A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square.
Yes.
So like
Yes.
a fruit is a vegetable, but a vegetable is not necessarily
a fruit.
A fruit.
Yeah. I mean, I also think what constitutes a vegetable and fruit is like the nutritional value you can get for those.
So do you think fruit has less value than vegetable does?
Well, no. Think about this.
I'm trying to. That's why we're
you
here.
can't get the same. You from most vegetables, from most vegetables, you can't get the same type of antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin whatevers, and from oranges. You know, like from those citrusy like fruits, they have like a lot of like these antioxidants, and like you're not gonna get the same thing from like a potato. No skins, because skins are weird on potatoes.
I have a question. Is there a difference between a grape tomato and a cherry tomato?
Okay, I've heard of a cherry tomato. I don't know if I've ever heard of a
you
grape
know,
tomato.
I've heard of a grape, but
tomatoes
are they both just the small
I think
tomatoes?
one is
and
like
just-
bigger, just a little bigger.
I
than the other.
maybe they have different shapes.
No,
I don't know.
No.
They don't-
I
they're
think
not
they're
very-
the same thing. Well, I don't know.
Tomato, potato. It
Tomato,
doesn't matter.
potato.
Tomato, potato.
Tomato?
Tomato, potato.
Yeah, tomatoes are potatoes. So anyhow, yeah. What other questions do you have? Because I feel like.
Okay, do we want... Alright, so the Google answer here is that a fruit is a seed-bearing structure that develops from the ovary of a flowering plant. Whereas vegetables are all other plant parts, such as the roots, leaves, and stems.
Didn't we all develop from the ovary of a flowering
So
plant?
we're all vegetables.
Are we all vegetables?
According to...
I know Stephen Hawking's was.
Oh my god.
Alright, on that note, we are going to move the conversation along.
Lyle Bub wants you.
So yesterday, we had a discussion about our
Hold
morning
on.
routines.
I do have the
I want you,
difference between a grape tomato and
Oh,
a
I would
cherry
love to
tomato.
hear this.
There we
Actually,
go.
yeah.
Alright, before we move on, a grape tomato is oblong and shaped like grapes, whatever that means.
So it's like this.
So
So it's
grapes
like
have-
an oval if it was 2D.
Yeah, they're about half the size of cherry tomatoes with thicker skin. Grape tomatoes aren't as sweet as cherry tomatoes.
So I want cherry tomatoes.
Also, Mike
different
Robles
sizes.
calling me right now, and I don't know what to do about that.
No,
Mike,
no.
You know
Mike,
you're
actually,
listening, Mike.
stop listening, Mike.
Don't stop listening.
Don't tarnish.
All right, to bring back what I was going to talk about. Yesterday we had a discussion about our morning routines. I noticed this morning that some of you guys changed yours up a little bit. Is that because you guys were intimidated by my morning routine?
Okay, first of all,
Yes.
normally I wake up at 5:30. This week has been a little different because there's literally been nothing to do. But usually my morning routine is get up, start the day with a banquet, go to the
A
K
frozen
pack.
banquet, like a frozen veal banquet.
Yeah, like a banquet burger usually.
Like a Salisbury steak.
Like a
Nice TV
Salisbury
dinner.
steak. But
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so I will. I mean, obviously that's true. But I noticed some other people changed their morning routines
Oh,
this
that's
morning. Yeah.
I just woke up naturally and just went for a run.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Marissa Hughes, ... Hi, Marissa.
Hey.
Okay, wait.
Alright, girlfriends can't request things.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here, Tanya.
Okay, now we're just telling all our viewers to stop listening. It's like we just wanted like to have like a conversation while live on.
Alright, you know what, Lyle, why don't you give a little soliloquy here?
What's a soliloquy?
It's a Shakespearean term, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Talk.
I don't know much Shakespeare, but
What is
Explain
something you know
it.
about that you can talk about?
I don't really know a whole lot.
Well, talk about why
Thanks,
you
Mike.
copied my
Thanks,
morning
Dr.
routine.
Roble.
Well, I just woke up naturally, and that's not my fault.
Okay. Oh, hi, everybody.
No, but yeah, I just woke up naturally, and like my usual morning routine, I started at Guntz for a couple minutes, and then I just like, hey, I should go for a run, and then I did, and that was that. There's really not much to it. Yeah.
So what we were discussing is that this week I've been waking up the earliest, which will not happen during the school year because Titus is not a normal person.
It might wake it'll happen.
So
Sexual orientation. Well, Mike, you are your own sexual orientation. I don't know a whole lot about that either.
So
Lyle doesn't really pay attention.
I don't pay
to
attention.
anything in
Yeah,
class in
yeah.
life. So
it's tough. It sucks.
it's tough out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy, really.
So what we were having a conversation with my morning routine. I was just discussing how I'd get up, I'd run and shoot, I'd come back here, shower, go walk up to the dining hall, get food, and come back and sit down and watch Shark Tank, and everyone else would just wake up while I'm watching Shark Tank. Because, what better way to start your day than watching Shark Tank?
I have never woke up to you watching Shark
That
Tank.
is true.
Because you're not up till
You're
noon.
never up.
You're not up till noon.
I am up at noon, but I also stay up till around 4, 5 in the morning. So I don't know. I think that a solid morning routine is waking up and taking a shower.
I
that
love
has to be
taking
one
a
of your
shower.
first
Showers or
days.
not?
Taking a shower in the morning. I take 2 showers a day though.
I do. I'm a big 2 shower a day person.
It's a waste of water.
It really is,
It's not a
but
waste of water. I got a lot of body.
I reuse the water from the first shower.
yeah.
Oh yeah, keep it in the
Keep it, keep it up.
I use Lyle's water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best invention on Shark Tank?
Oh,
First of all,
Oh.
Shark Tank, they're just a bunch of jerks, okay? They're just not nice people.
they
No.
Rich.
So we're watching the episode today, this morning. Jared was joining me because he was awake this morning. And the best invention we've ever seen is this guy made a song on how to remember the state capitals
That was
of
great.
every state. And he got laughed off the stage within 5
That's
seconds.
a good one. You can invent something.
We're really, we plan on bringing this podcast to Shark Tank. Not to actually sell it, but we plan to just make a scene and just get nationally famous,
I would invent world peace.
That doesn't exist.
I could help you with that. I think me and Titus would be the perfect people to create world peace.
I mean, we're
I don't
peaceful
know.
individuals.
If I
But
get
the
if I get
best
Northern Russia.
invention on Shark Tank was by far the peanut butter pump.
The peanut butter pump was
That was actually
great.
fantastic.
Peanut butter
You just-
pump.
No
You
sugar.
just put a pump on the jar. You don't have to do anything with the jar. You just put a pump on it, and it just spreads it out perfectly on your bread.
You don't make a mess. You don't make a
That's
mess.
legendary.
So, but we gotta talk about this. Mr. Wonderful was the peanut butter guy, but he didn't like it because he couldn't refrigerate it, and apparently he puts peanut butter in the refrigerator. Your opinion on
Oh,
that?
this is a good
Do
topic.
you guys put peanut butter in the refrigerator?
No, you don't have to.
No,
you don't
have
You know, not only that, you don't have to put. The pet peeve is a pet peeve of mine personally. People who put ketchup and mustard and those kind of condiments in a refrigerator. They don't need to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay.
Ketchup
No.
goes in the refrigerator.
You go
I don't
like-
even like ketchup.
if-
Ketchup goes in the
If you
refrigerator.
go to an old school diner, like the good old Americana
Yeah.
diners,
Yeah.
the ketchup stays out 24/7 and it's delicious.
And that's
It's
why
very
we're
true.
off that.
Ketchup does not need to be refrigerated, but I think it's a personal choice. It's not that it has to be,
I guess so.
but I think some people like cold ketchup.
What would you want to put cold ketchup on?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Something hot.
It cools down your burger before you eat it.
Yeah.
It's a nice little cool down.
Okay, but nobody wants to cool down their burger before they. Uncomfortably white or uncomfortably skinny, Jared? Because I have to stop in the middle of what I'm saying to address this whole mic thing. Yes, I know my legs look weird in that picture. I am aware. Everyone, listen. I am aware that my legs look terrible in that picture.
We've
Okay?
talked about this multiple
It's
times.
been yes. I've heard it from 100 people. Let me tell you something. I skipped leg day. That's it. What do you want me to do?
We also want to mention that Hubert was waving, and we just did not recognize that. He does say hi. We just are sometimes inconsiderate over here.
Please don't directly talk to my Hubert. Thank you.
I have a text message from a viewer. He says, I'm
Shout out.
Kyle.
Kyle Diamond.
Kyle Diamond, KD. He says he's calling BS on ZT's morning routine.
Oh, he said you don't work out.
No,
Right.
it's true. That's what he does.
I do.
Yeah, it is
I mean,
true.
they have no idea how much I run and how much I shoot, but they know I leave.
Half a lap
He
and
puts
he's
the
out.
work in.
I like to sometimes.
On the room is that your neck was surgery.
Edmund, we're not even gonna answer your question because
Oh.
it's easily the gorilla beats a bear.
A gorilla will beat a bear.
Hey, Bub.
A gorilla is stronger than a bear.
Hey, Bub. So I'm sure you're a nerd. I'm sure you've seen the new Batman trailer with Pat, my boy.
100% it is.
What you didn't see is that there's another villain in that trailer, and his name is Bane, and somebody you know might be playing Bane in that movie. Alright, it's not going to be Tom Hardy, but it might be a lookalike. I can't say who it is, but you may know
Under
him.
contract.
Anyhow, let's continue this podcast.
All right, you want to go to the next? All right, Yeah.
I have a talking point because I was just scrolling
Yeah.
through Instagram like 30 minutes ago, and I saw something that I was uncomfortable with, so naturally I want to see your guys' take.
Obviously.
It was like a family military account that like posts pictures of like military members with their family, and it was a dad with like a 5-year-old kid, and like sure enough, the third picture was just the dad and the kid just French kissing it out, full
French?
lip on lip.
Like
Yeah.
like
Okay,
Tom
not
Brady
It
style.
looked like
Tom
tongue
Brady
was in there. So,
Whoa!
yeah. So I want to know your take on if young men should kiss their fathers,
Young man.
or if fathers should kiss boys.
Okay, I have no problem with them kissing on the forehead. Like
No,
I do
I'm
not.
talking lips, buddy.
Okay, but
I don't like
Like
family
big
members
things
on
for-
the lips.
Yeah, that's.
I don't like that in
I
general.
think you should just get a firm pat on the butt. I think
Yeah.
that should be a greeting thing.
whoa.
I think a bro hug with your dad is the best thing.
Okay,
That's fair.
is this literally just gonna come back to you hating on Tom Brady?
No, I knew this was going to revolve to Tom Brady, but when you're worth that much, when you're the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, you
Kiss whoever you
can
want.
do whatever you want,
Yeah.
right?
But when you defend our country, you can't.
Facts. You are a servant to the people if you're defending our country.
I think that an NFL superstar is a servant to the people.
Well,
Either way, I'm not comfortable. Like, I've never kissed my dad on the lips or
And
anywhere.
that's why the person you are today.
I have never kissed my dad. My dad's kissed me on the forehead, but I've never kissed my dad.
Yeah, I
What?
don't think.
Whatever happened to the good-old-fashioned handshake? Why'd we get away from that?
That is true.
Yeah.
How come now, whenever I have to see somebody I haven't seen in a long time, I gotta hug them?
Dude, okay, speaking of that, the handshake is the most efficient way to do it.
Not
Because-
when someone gets a dead fish. Then that ruins everything.
Okay, but then when people are going up to like slap your hand, you never know what they're gonna go for, you know?
like a dab up or
a
like a
dab up?
handshake.
You never know, and it's so awkward.
I'm
You
a-
just gotta say it right out of the gate.
I'm a big fan of the new, like, coronavirus elbow-to-elbow thing.
The elbow to elbow
Dude,
is, I like
elbow touch is a good greeting.
The air hugs. I'm all
Elbow to
about it.
never
elbow,
done that.
elbow to elbow does not help the spread of leprosy. And let me tell you something: leprosy is real and prevalent. We need to stop worrying about coronavirus.
I think
Stop
leprosy
worrying
could
about
be a
leprosy.
good
The lepers
time.
are coming.
I think leprosy could be a good time.
Well, what do you think this is? Pardon my take? We don't know anything about sports. We're not gonna debate sports stuff.
Yeah, Stephen
Yeah,
A. Smith.
you and Robo are trying to turn this
Cleveland
into a
Browns.
sports channel.
Next off.
All right,
Next up.
so in this house, you guys have been watching a lot of the show Haunted on Netflix.
Good show, good show.
How do you guys feel about the existence of ghosts and supernatural beings?
Oh man! All right, I grew up at a house that was over 200 years old, and people have obviously, like, back in the day, they used to just die in their house and stuff. My grandmother died in the house. My grandfather died in the house. Like, so many people have died in my house.
Josh Allen.
But like, there's been like spooky stuff that went on, but there's never been anything that's like real, you know, like I could like be like, oh, okay, that's a ghost. So like, I don't know, you know, it'd be something that I'd have to like experience, like see happen. And you know, I think that most people,
Don't have that experience.
well, most people don't have an experience. I don't know how rare that is, if it is real, you know, but.
Anyone else have an opinion on that?
I mean, one episode was about aliens, and I think we can all agree that aliens are real.
Okay,
They're
okay.
there. Aliens are so real.
Aliens
so
are
real.
real, but think about it. This is someone who was abducted from like Nebraska and like the sticks in some cornfield trailer park. Like everybody knows that aliens don't abduct Hicks because those are the only people. It's like the meth heads. Like, oh, here come the meth heads to tell us that they just got abducted by an alien after not sleeping for 12 days.
Well, that's because no one would believe them. Maybe this is like just future thinking by the aliens, dude. They're like, no one's gonna believe these rednecks.
It's
We're
strategic. It is strategic.
Or they have been.
good. See, like, why would they take Leonardo DiCaprio? Like, everyone would believe him if he was like, dude, I just got kidnapped by an alien.
I think that aliens very well could be ancient people that
Used to live.
surpassed current people in technology and became aliens. Like, I don't think that technology advances in a linear motion, so I think there's previous civilizations that are more technologically advanced than we are, so the aliens are just old people who found out how to create spaceships and living in outer space and are just coming back to monitor us.
To see where
And
and where
then
like the
the rest of the civilization just obviously collapsed and
Yeah.
nobody left.
Dude, I mean,
Right.
we're
So
asleep in a
there was a-
hurricane and we don't even know.
Yeah.
I would first like to just applause Jared Hobson for that.
That was
comment.
that was a
for
solid
Guntz.
comment.
Yeah,
That was
Jared.
awesome.
Okay, for people that will be listening to this back, Jared Hobson commented, I feel like Zach, talking about Guntz, would definitely know a thing about getting ghosted.
Yeah, just roast me. That's just what we're gonna turn into. It's a roast fest.
Also, Bub, on your thing about who's hotter, Baker Mayfield or Josh Allen, I don't believe Baker Mayfield had anybody compliment him in shorts, but Josh Allen has by like a reporter, I believe. So yeah, there's your answer.
We're going off a reporter who's
Yes.
hotter. Like Jim
Yes.
Acosta says that.
Yes.
That freaking.
I don't hear
Allen's
anybody
hotter
saying
than
that
Phil.
Baker Mayfield is hotter.
How about his
No one talks about
supermodel
Josh
wife?
Allen.
She's hot.
Baker Mayfield's literally dating a supermodel.
But
Josh Allen is
Josh
literally
Allen's
dating no
wife is a smoke.
Okay, but she is. She's good looking too, but she went to Wyoming with him.
So how
Yeah.
did the pyramids get there? Like, this is how. If
So
this is how-
do you want the biblical perspective there?
Yes,
Okay, sure.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
heard this.
Well, be ready to
But
correct
think
us.
about that. Who was in Egypt that we know that was slaves? It's a commonly held belief in the Christian church that the Jews built the pyramids when they were slaves in Egypt. And then they could probably say that, they had God with them, but I don't know why. I mean, that is a common belief in the church.
I mean, was every Jew like Brock Lesnar could just haul up weight on his back?
They had okay.
Why is Brock Lesnar the guy you go to?
Because he's white and he has a 6 sword tattoo on his chest.
It is a pretty sick tattoo, but no matter how much like manpower that you have, do you know how big those rocks?
I have
those
no
rocks-
idea how it was done.
They're literally the size of houses.
Yeah.
So like those giant bricks, like I had this guy come and talk to us at high school about that. He was a what's that called again?
Scientist? Oh,
yeah.
archaeologist.
Archaeologist, yeah. So he took a laser tape and measured like to the 1/8 of an inch. They're an 1/8 of an inch, like it's. So when you're doing carpentry, you try to get it like no higher than a 1/4 inch. They're an 1/8 of an inch, like stacked perfect on top of each other all the way up. How is that even possible?
Some would say that it was divine intervention, whether from the Egyptian gods
Or the UFO.
Raha.
Or maybe they're just really good at math and know how to do that.
Well, but it's like, that's not math. That's you have to have the tooling
Yeah.
and the technology
But
to
you're- yeah.
cut those bricks.
But like you were saying before, maybe the technology was there,
I'm a
but it
believer
got
in that
wiped
theory.
out.
Like, I think there's technology that existed hundreds or thousands of years ago
And they're aliens
that
now.
are more advanced than our technology today.
And then they realized that the idiots should stay here and inhabit the planets, and the smart ones go and leave.
Well,
Dude, that'd be wild. If we're just like, if our technology just keeps like starting from
Cycling,
scratch,
cycling.
dude, that's wild.
why not? There's a whole Love, Death, Robots on that show on Netflix. That like it's kind of like Black Mirror, how every episode's different. There's one where like these people get this like old fridge and they open the freezer and it's like they watch. It's like super speed, but they watch like a civilization like go through its cycle, and then all of a sudden like at the end of it, they're like, oh, like the civilization finally ended and like these people went to outer space, intergalactic, whatever, and when they went back to it the next day, civilization started over, and it's just like civilization is like a constant loop, like it just restarts and restarts and restarts every time you like peak. A civilization peaks, they go, and then the next civilization is born.
And in part, you look at life goes through cycles. There's business cycles. The weather is cyclical. So it's very
People.
It's
People.
people.
are cyclical.
yeah.
Moon.
Women are cyclical.
Women. Oh.
Women.
I wash my hands of this. I mean, that's not.
It is a biological
There are
fact.
no
It's a
women
biological
here.
fact.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, but there are no women here to defend themselves.
They run off.
Dare you.
Never mind. All right,
You
let's
were
move on
right.
from that.
Yeah, next point maybe. Let's move along here.
So anything else on supernatural beings? Anything? To be fair, the Bible does talk about demons. The Bible talks about Satan. So those are supernatural beings. God's a supernatural being.
Yeah.
I've never experienced any of it myself, so I can't. But
Are you
hearing
open
some
to the
people's
idea?
stories. I am, because hearing some people's stories and stuff, it really seems real.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, like I don't know. I haven't felt any of that myself, so but I feel like I can't shut it down because some people really do feel like they've been through that,
Or they
and
feel
maybe
like-
some just have schizophrenia. We don't know.
And it's acceptable to say that you hear from God,
That's
but it's
true.
not acceptable to say you hear from.
That's true.
It's true.
Eddie, you know all about probes, don't you?
Probes.
Did you
Eddie
just,
is a pro.
Did you just write probes?
Eddie has nothing to do in his little quarantine shack that he's in right now, so he's just like looking for any outlet. Anyway,
It's the Fap Shack.
anyway, yeah. So,
Oh,
so anyway, wow. So yeah, yeah. So the
Yeah,
whole
Bob,
thing
I'm not an
about-
expert, but I know as much as anybody in this room.
Bob,
so.
if you want to go ahead,
We
yeah,
should
Bob.
have Dr. Dirk on this.
We should.
Bob, if you want to go ahead and say that Satan's frozen over in hell like Dante from Dante's Inferno, go right ahead. But like you can counter believe anything in the
Exactly.
world.
I mean, a lot of our beliefs, our Christian beliefs, come from
Ah,
non-biblical
Your
sources.
Christian beliefs.
Right?
Keep mine and Guntz's paganism out of this,
I'm
right?
talking about Christian belief as a whole, not necessarily anyone's individual faith. So let's move on to our next topic.
Sure.
I was reading a news article today about a woman who was discovered to still be breathing at the funeral home after being pronounced dead by the paramedics.
Well, biologically, like, the brain does still send signals to, like, body parts, so, like, a person can burp or, like, move while they are dead.
That long after?
Yeah, I don't know about that long after,
Well,
but
how long? Do we know how long this has been? Like, was the funeral
Like,
5 days
but,
later?
no, but you
or
gotta
like-
imagine that means that the paramedics have done the test
Yeah.
and that she's at the funeral home, not at the morgue. So like this has got to be there's got to be some time past
Yeah.
there.
Did she
I-
wake back up, or
I
was
don't
she
know.
dead?
I think she's in a coma.
I don't trust anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die.
It can't be human. It must be an alien, and this is why you need to know jujitsu.
That's
If you have aliens.
Let me tell you something. Anything that bleeds can be killed.
Well, okay. I think that. So I have seen bodies, and this is going to be like I don't want to say any names or anything, but I worked for a company, and part of my job was to clean up after bodies, like after dead people for whatever whatever happened to them. I had to go and clean, and sometimes we're there. We show up before because we're not allowed to move the bodies.
Right.
So like sometimes we'll show up and we have to clean around it until someone comes and gets the body out. But we have to take everything. So when you die, like you expel all your fluids.
Yep.
And like when you do that, like this is turning real gross real quick. But like when you do that, it gets messy. Like it gets, and this was in a strip club too, so it was already messy. And we were in there, and like at this place, like we saw this body, and it's super bloated. So if it released gas at all, like his bodies bloat when they die.
Yeah.
So like if it releases, and this was in like a hot like building with no AC. So it was like like if that would happen in a morgue, I don't know how cool they keep like a morgue or whatever.
Yeah, but I
oh,
mean,
morgues are pretty cool.
Do they keep them in a refrigerator? What are they?
Kind of.
Yeah, I
kinda
think they
like
do
that.
keep 'em in a
'Cause you don't want it to
refrigerator.
rot.
yeah.
You
While
don't want
it's
it
in
to
there.
rot, but like, man.
Why waste that much electricity
What do they do with the
on the
decay?
dead bodies? Come on.
Well, what do they do with a decaying body? Does that go on one of those things?
Yeah.
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 Does it really?
Because
Yeah.
it stops the decay.
It stops the decay.
Really?
So, it does, so you can still do
Yeah.
like an autopsy on
Right.
it or whatever.
See, I don't know what happens to the bodies after they go. I don't know. I just clean up after them.
Have you watched any TV show
Yeah.
ever about anything?
No, I don't watch TV shows. I don't have time for all that.
So do you guys have a fear of being buried alive?
It has not been a concern of mine as of late, but now maybe.
That's a big fear for me. Like
Really?
that's,
Being buried alive?
that's terrifying.
I
to
just
me.
haven't put enough thought into it. I feel like
Like
I can dig myself
I'm
out
not
of
even
the
claustrophobic.
I'm low-key
but I feel like I
claustrophobic.
get claustrophobic so quick.
I mean, I fear being buried in credit card debt.
And that is why
That's
another
a-
segment we will be having is Zach Thompson's financial advice.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. So yeah, if you guys have questions on your finances, let me know. I'm not a licensed financial expert, but I will give you my advice.
And he will do your taxes.
I think my biggest
I do
fear
know.
is getting into a marriage without a prenup.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Good question.
Because
Good point, though.
I do, like, a lot of Christians will be like, oh, like, it's like, and I should just go for Christians here. I won't even say just a lot of Christians, but a lot of people will say.
They're just bashing Christians.
No, I'm not trying to bash Christians. That's not my thing. I'm not, like, anti-Christian. But, like, a lot of people won't get a prenup because they say it's the love of my life, but you don't know what's going to happen down the road. You literally have no idea.
Okay, I do have an interesting take on that. If you look at Jeff Bezos, he didn't sign a prenup, but at the point, a prenup is only the existing assets that you have. So it does not count your future assets. So it is, when you get married as a poor person, you're only protecting the assets that you have at that point.
Well, I'm trying to marry Sugar Mama, so
She's going to make you sign a prenup.
I would
You're
like if
getting
she didn't make me
prenup
sign a
signed.
prenup. Like someone with a pension, that's A1 for me. Someone that can really set me up in the future.
So what? You want like an old woman?
Yeah, you're on that grandma game.
I'm not opposed to it. That's all I'm saying.
Jared wants a 67-year-old retired iron worker woman to just cuddle him at night.
She's the big spoon.
I'm not against it. I'm just simply not against it.
Well, I don't know. I think that, prenups are the wisest thing to do. And I mean, you always have a backup plan, no matter what.
But if you get married at 22, neither one of you have anything, the prenup means nothing.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get married to you at least 30, 35. All right.
2022, okay, so a lot of, like, kids younger than me, like a year younger than me, that's like 20, 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're getting married already. Like, from my high school that I went to high
Yeah.
school with, they're already getting, like, to me that's like bonkers, but I guess if you find, like, the love of your life. And, by the way, those people getting married real young, they're not signing prenups because that's the love of their life.
But they also don't have anything to prenup.
That's true, I guess. Alright.
What are you going to prenup? Your $10 in your bank account?
I don't know. What if they have like a high paying? Because like, what if you get a really good job, like a programmer,
Yeah.
making like 65 out of college?
Yeah.
So,
All right, Bub, trying to flex on all of us.
All right, but that's gonna last for like maybe 2 more years. So she's gonna skyrocket it right after school. So
Well, Bub, maybe you should sign a prenup right now.
Can you do
I don't think
Post prenup? A post nut?
Yeah.
Is it?
Post.
Okay, there's a Shark Tank convention. A
Post-
nuptial agreement post-marriage. Dude, we could have saved Jeff Bezos like literally billions of dollars.
$60 billion.
$60 billion in a post-nup.
and that you're lowballing to that.
We're lowballing there.
You are lowballing.
Can we talk about that? Mackenzie Bezos is the richest woman in the world. Strictly off her divorce.
Good for her, dude.
Dude,
I'm
that's
proud
awesome.
of her.
Okay, can we think about the
She is
whole...
donating a lot of the money, to be
Yeah.
fair. She's not acting like it's all her wealth. She is donating
Well,
it to HB.
I mean, let's be honest too. I'm sure that Jeff Bezos is not an easy guy to be married to.
I mean, I can't imagine that he's ever around.
I mean, if I'm not around for my children and wife, then there's no way that guy is. Hey, actually, thank you.
well, the thing is, like, people look at, like, Bezos' wealth. He is a very wealthy man, but,
Yes.
like, he also puts so much more of that money back into the company.
It's very true. I mean, it's mostly just
Please
stock
don't
in the
cut my
economy.
mom's list.
Yeah, it's like it is. It's like part of the econ. Like it's at that point, it is part of like the cycle, financial cycle. But
So this all came from my Buried Alive, which was a common fear in the past when they didn't know if people were for sure dead. Edgar Allan Poe wrote about it extensively. That was his biggest fear in life.
I feel like it's so. It never happens for it to be a real fear. Like, what would the situation have to be for you? Because I want to get cremated anyway. So,
There's no.
All right, and if you
comeback from
start
that.
screaming while you're getting buried alive,
yeah.
then I'm sure they'll take you out and fix you up.
I feel like you die too quick.
You would probably die too quick.
well, I want to
It's
donate my
like-
body to science first, and then.
Pretty
get
high
Okay.
those cremation things.
Yeah.
So
Hey, we're podcasting here.
sorry, we got some visitors outside. Anyhow, well, I think that like
Just joking, Austin.
I think that getting buried alive. Did you guys ever hear what they used to do in like the olden days, with, like the bell?
Yeah, because
That's
they'd wait
crazy.
a couple days to see if they ring the bell. If they did, then they'd go get them.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine waiting a couple days in a coffin under the ground?
Well, you would die of CO2, right?
Yeah, you.
I don't know how
You'd
long-
suffocate if you were buried. Yeah,
But I don't know how long. But they don't actually. They don't.
Oh, they
they-
don't bury him.
Yeah, they don't put in the hole.
Oh.
They put them in the hole, but they don't fill the hole.
That's why I trained myself not to breathe.
Yeah, but like so many critters would go down there and like eat you up.
You
Here's
can't
a
be down there
question.
for long.
What would be a worse way to die, drowning or burning to death?
Oh,
Burning.
Taylor's
Drowning.
always
Burning.
No.
Burning.
No,
drowning.
burning
I
would be
feel
worse.
like I hate.
I
I feel like cannot being able to breathe.
Drowning under ice.
Yeah,
Drowning under ice would be pretty
like,
bad.
Because drowning, you'll just pass out after a while.
Yeah.
but
That
it
is
sucks.
Because I feel like the burning's only bad till like it burns off your sensory.
Yeah, until it burns off
And
your
then
nerves.
once
Then
you- yeah,
can't
till-
do it.
once
So
your
it's
nerves
like
are
the
burned, you
worst
can't-
pain.
So is the question the worst, or would you rather?
Would you
I would
rather?
rather burn to death.
I would rather burn to death.
I would rather drown.
See, I'd rather burn.
I was meant for the water.
I think burn.
Drowning is terrifying.
I think burn.
More
is
than
very-
burning?
Yes.
Yes.
No shot.
I
I
think
hate not being able to breathe. So
Dude,
that's just
if I could like burn to death with like a bag of marshmallows on me,
You
and
can't
just like
breathe.
pound 6 marshmallows right before I die.
Well, Lyle, you also can't breathe when you have all that freaking smoke in your lungs.
That's also true. But
Okay.
Wait,
what do you know about smoke in your lungs, Jan?
Yeah, Jared, what do you know? Well, I mean, I think that like burning, 100% has to be the way. Like jumping into a thing of lava,
Ooh,
like 'cause you're technically burning to death.
that's fair.
But you
I
will
mean,
get
there's
so
different
quick.
ways. Like you could drown in like a puddle, like having a heart attack, and like that. I mean,
yeah,
you're.
That is true.
So I mean, there's all kinds of ways of drowning. There's all kinds of ways. Of
like in the
burning. So
shower
there's-
and you just accidentally inhale the water, and then you can just drown right there and have nobody to help you.
In a chocolate river. Okay.
that sounds like an Eddie answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Titus, so you're an expert on the Waco shootout. I know nothing about it. I'd love to hear some information about it.
Yeah, so first of all, you should watch the miniseries Waco on Netflix. It's really good. It was basically a. How do I preface this? So there was a commune / congregation that was like living in a house together and accused of doing bad. They were accused of, I think it was like hoarding weapons, but then also there was some like possible pedophile stuff going on, because there's like one, I'm not going to call him a cult leader because he really did seem like an enlightened individual and a prophet of the Lord. But so the FBI went and like raided it, and something happened, and like a shootout kind of started, and then like the FBI and these guys that were called the Branch Davidians kind of just like had a standoff for like 30 or 40 days or something. And it was really intense. Like there was a bunch of FBI FBI like hostage negotiators and stuff. I don't want to spoil it because it's a great show, but yeah, it's interesting and it's fun.
You definitely have me intrigued. On Haunted today, we actually watched an episode about cult, and that was absolutely terrifying.
I don't think I was there for that.
Yeah, Lyle, yeah, I don't think.
I think I disappeared for a little bit.
I honestly though, I think that those cult situations, that's another level right there. That's a whole nother level of supernatural spookiness.
Yeah,
Because
it shows you the evil of people. I think.
I mean, I think that the media today has done a
you're
lot
putting
to
behind Hubert? Come
make
on.
cults look bad, but I mean, I think there's probably cults out there that are harmless and just living their lives.
Okay, I agree with that.
Isn't Christianity a cult?
yeah, honestly, why would it not be?
Because
Well, I was thinking
you
about
have
like
choices of what kind of Christianity. Like it's not like you're not locked in.
Look, but we have rules we're supposed to follow. Like technically,
Society,
But, like,
society.
But
is
the
rules.
rules vary.
I was thinking like in my head, like it's crazy that some people just fall for that cult type like persuading. But then I think like someone can make an argument against us being Christian.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we believe that it's like the right thing, and we believe that it's like true and whatever. You can argue all that stuff, but like someone could still call it a cult, and we're still pretty full-fledged into it.
So I think that's an interesting point. Is cults normally have a charismatic leader that you worship more as a god than God, which you could argue that the Catholic Church
Yeah, I was about to say.
counts the Pope as higher than God. Are they supposed to? No, but
I'm not Catholic. I'm not commenting.
Catholics are sketch.
Okay,
wow.
No,
Catholic Church.
Catholic churches, because
That's where you had the disclaimer.
I had to go to one for a class. Just yeah, and it was
I know a lot of
dark
good
and it was scary.
Here's a question: What celebrity would you follow into a cult? Like if they started a
Jason
cult?
Momoa.
Ooh,
Easy.
hot take. Good one.
Easy,
Good one.
Jason
Good
Momoa.
one.
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, I'm banning Caitlyn Stewart.
Dude, okay. Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
I'll go
Reynolds.
Blake Lively.
Blake
Lively. Blake Lively.
Anywhere.
I mean, any celebrity.
Who would it be? Oh, Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin and a
Dude,
heart.
no. You guys, there's only one answer. Betty White.
Betty
No.
White.
No, because she's gonna show you where the fountain of life is, and you will never die.
Her and Queen Elizabeth.
No, I mean, real talk. If Joe Rogan started a cult, I'd probably join him.
Eddie
That's
Charles
right.
Manson
Joe
really.
Rogan.
He is cool, and they talked about that on a recent episode. You know that?
I don't listen to Joe Rogan
Well,
because I
Dave-
am Joe Rogan.
Well, he had an episode.
Charles Manson.
He had an episode with David Cho, or I think that's his name. Yeah, and they talked like David Cho was giving him crazy compliments, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, if you started a cult, like so many people would follow you." And I was like, "Yeah, so many people would follow like a personality like that, someone who like because it seems like someone that big relates to everyone. It's crazy. Bonkers."
I just imagine being with Jason Momoa and just running through the woods with friggin' hatchets and living life and growing dreads. And
Do you even know how to use a hatchet?
I've cut a branch. or
Oh,
two.
Lyle, I'm sure you know how to use a hatchet like the back of your head.
And on that note, that's all we have for this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have enjoyed the podcast, please give it a like down below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow our Instagram account at Leonard24Podcast to get updates about the podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
See ya.
Later on.
Adios.